For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
You.
Sarah.
You.
Sarah.
These were the final 2 moments before an innocent man tragically passed away, and it's just one of 2 cases where unsuspecting men had their lives cut short by who they never would have imagined. Their girlfriends. On February 24th, 2020, Orange County Sheriff deputies received a shocking call from 42-year-old Sarah Boone reporting that her boyfriend, 42-year-old George Torres Jr., whom she trapped in a suitcase overnight during a game of hide-and-seek and had apparently forgotten about while she fell asleep, wasn't waking up after she opened the suitcase the following morning. Upon arrival, officers discovered Torres Jr. deceased and spoke to Sarah Boone to really understand what had happened.
I fell asleep, forgetting that he was in the
suitcase. You guys
suitcase.
were playing the hide and go.
Yes.
And at some point you put him in the suitcase?
No, he got in the suitcase. So he thought it'd be funny to be put in the suitcase. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to joke with you and I'll zip you up and make him, squirm a little bit, whatever it is. But then I fell asleep. I fell asleep.
Where was the suitcase?
Right where it is.
Right down there?
Yes.
You zipped him in there?
Yes.
Thought he would be funny, a little joke?
It was. We both were laughing about it.
Okay.
And then I fell asleep.
Where did you fall asleep at?
Upstairs.
In your bedroom?
Yes.
Okay.
Totally forgetting that he was in the suitcase still.
Okay. And then you came back downstairs?
This morning, or this afternoon, yes, when I got up.
What time?
12:30-ish. I was awake, but I totally forgot that he was in the suitcase.
The officers were not stupid. They understood that it's unlikely to lock someone in a suitcase during a game and then completely forget about it while going to sleep. They chose not to arrest Sarah that day, but instead took Torres Jr.'s remains for an autopsy, along with several pieces of evidence collected from the apartment. Equipped with abundant evidence from their findings and discovery, the detectives summoned Sarah to the station the following day. Sarah never anticipated the direction the interrogation would take, was completely caught off guard, and as the detectives delivered some shocking revelations, which had her scrambling for a way out.
So, this morning we went to his autopsy, and we were informed of some injuries that he has by the doctor. So, so he's got scratch marks to his back.
I know what that's from.
Okay. And it's called a contusion. Do you know what a contusion is? So like basically you're getting hit and then you get a mark from it. You'll get bruising. Like someone hit you or something like that. It's called a contusion. So he had some injuries to his left shoulder. He had a cut near his lip. We could see his mouth was a little.
I haven't laid a hand on him.
Okay.
Also too, he fell off my son's bike.
Okay.
So I don't know, and he's notorious for running into the wall or the hall tree.
Okay.
So
Okay. What about the scratches? Because there's also sex.
Yes.
Okay. Because there's also like a scratch on the back of his neck, kind of going, but it's going straight across.
I have no idea what that's from.
And they're all recent. They occurred recently. It wasn't something that occurred post or that occurred a week ago or 2 days ago, 3 days ago. They definitely occurred, the night leading up to when he was.
In all honesty, we have not gotten into it.
Okay.
That's why, the only thing I thought you guys were going to ask me about, which I was going to be honest with you anyway, are the scratch marks on his back.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else, I have no idea what it is. No idea what it is.
The officers were direct, inquiring about the source of the injuries and scars on her deceased boyfriend. Sarah quickly suggested they were from their sexual activity, while also indirectly hinting he had a history of conflicts with the police, which could also account for the injuries. However, as the interrogation progressed, it became clear that not everything was as straightforward as it initially appeared.
He also had, on the left side of his forehead, he had basically bruising, and on like his head and his skull,
I have no idea.
as if something hit him.
I
Considered
have not
force
touched him.
trauma.
I have not touched him. I have not touched him.
How would you get those injuries?
Tell me and we'll both know. I have not touched him.
Yesterday, when we took photographs of your overall body, and they did the buccal swabs, did they go under your fingernails?
No.
Okay. Are you willing to let us
Absolutely.
swab underneath your fingernails?
Go for it.
Okay.
As the officers requested a fingernail swab to test from her deceased boyfriend's skin cells, Sarah initially tensed up, but eventually agreed. Recognizing the focus of the detective's questioning, she began to realize she was the prime suspect. A fact that shouldn't have come as a surprise since she had confessed to locking him in the suitcase earlier. Her next approach was to divert attention and suspicion away from her, and her strategy at doing that will leave anyone shocked.
Like, we've been good. I don't know if, like, it's since the last time he got out of jail. Like, we've been good, and he's been having his classes and seeing his probation officer, who's amazing. So,
What do you mean by good? What's your definition of good?
the probation officer,
No, you said you guys have been good. What's your definition?
I've
of
been good. I don't think you will understand. He comes at me all the time. He comes at me. So it's either I flee or try to go upstairs and go to sleep. That's usually what it is.
Her attempt to emotionally manipulate the situation by portraying herself as the victim might sway others. It was clearly not working on the detectives, as they were armed with information she's unaware of, and her claiming of having pictures and videos of her boyfriend's abuse on her phone would ultimately backfire, as her phone had more than just this.
So, where were you guys at on drunkenness, not drunkenness on Sunday? You told us you weren't drunk.
No, I was not drunk.
Right.
I was not drunk. I can't get drunk. Number one, I do not want to get drunk. I don't like being non-complimentous, having my wits about myself. I don't like feeling out of control.
The officer's inquiry about whether she was intoxicated, even if she denied it, was a strategic move on their part. While the question may have appeared irrelevant at the time, it would later serve as a crucial cornerstone of their case, as you would soon come to realize.
So, do you remember making any videos or maybe having any any photos, videos that you remember doing on your phone on Sunday? No?
I think I took a picture of a dog.
She claimed that she hadn't recorded anything on her phone that day. But it was at this moment the officers unveiled their smoking gun. While she may have attempted to delete the recordings from her phone, she would soon realize that even this couldn't stop the determined detectives.
So I have something that I want to show you that we found, and it was from your phone. Can you see it?
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
You.
Sarah.
You.
Sarah.
Stupid.
Sarah.
That's my name. Don't wear it up.
Sarah. I can't breathe, babe. Seriously.
Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me.
Sarah. 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 Sarah, I can't breathe, babe.
That's on you.
Sarah, I can't breathe.
It's on you.
Sarah.
Real or ransom. Might want to get video for it extra. Because I got this.
Sarah.
Real or ransom.
Sarah. Sarah, I can't breathe, babe.
Oh. That's what I feel like when you ching on me.
Sarah,
You.
can breathe, Sarah.
Yeah.
She was stunned as the recording she believed she had deleted played right before her eyes. The officers had outsmarted her, and from this moment onward, it was smooth sailing for the officers.
Last time we talked to you, you had said that you put him in the suitcase, he had 2 fingers hanging out. and you
I
went to
flipped him
bed.
over. I flipped him over, and that's where it was.
There's 2 different videos and a still picture where, yeah, it shows you flipping him in different positions and him saying that he can't breathe and you saying fuck
So
you.
this is upside down. So in order for him to have gotten into it,
It was flipped up.
right, it was flipped up normal.
Yes.
Like as if you're packing something. So this is upside down.
Guys, this is killing me right now.
So this image is upside down, and then this small video that occurred 11 minutes later, it's flipped over the other way, closer to your dining room table.
Okay.
Now he's obviously still in there. So he didn't, how did it go from the back to the front?
I flipped it.
Okay.
My plan was not to go upstairs and go to sleep,
Well, that's what you did.
Yeah.
but not intentional of.
No, you told me you went upstairs because
What?
you were
Stop
getting
here.
ready for bed.
Stopped here.
Okay, but
Where's here?
show me where you can see any fingers coming out, because there's the end.
It's, and his head's right here.
Mm-hmm.
So going like this, rather than going all the way up, it's like this.
But why is he saying I can't breathe, and why is he pushing on it as if he can't get out?
And it doesn't show a hole.
There's no hole. There's no fingers. I don't see his fingers. There's no hole.
I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, I don't know, like, what you want me to tell you.
I'm just showing you. I'm just telling you what we see and what we've heard from the other
I
video.
understand. I understand.
He's begging for you to let him out. You're laughing in the beginning, and then in the end, it sounds kind of like a.
No, it's not malicious.
Well, saying fuck you.
It's not malicious.
Her stories had started to crumble at this point. She had previously informed the officers that she left part of the suitcase open for him to escape, but the video evidence contradicted her claims. And so far, she was doing a terrible job recovering from her lies.
My intention was not to leave him in there. Please understand that. My intention was not to leave him in there.
But you went upstairs thinking that he could get himself
Yes.
out, but the video shows
That's
at
what I
no
told
point
you.
can I see his fingers. And
He'll
it
be up
looks
here any
like-
minute.
And then 30 minutes later, he didn't show.
And he's telling you
And I
he
didn't
can't
wake
breathe.
up.
Do you think
not
he's
able to get
joking?
out.
You told me he was laughing, and I.
We were
The
before.
video, there's no
When we
laughing.
first got in there,
It was clear she isn't going to talk her way out of this. However, refusing to surrender, she attempted another deception, which would only come back to haunt even more.
I know what.
You know what's on that video now?
No.
You remember making that video?
No,
Why don't you remember making the video?
probably because we had been drinking.
But you weren't drunk.
No. Just because I went upstairs and. Just
You
because
told
you're
us-
drunk doesn't mean
told us
that
several
you.
times that you were not drunk. You said that you had your wits about you. You said he had his wits about you.
Mhm.
You said that you don't like not having your wits. In my experience, if somebody cannot remember doing something to the extent of making 2 videos and a video and taking a photo, they are intoxicated.
Okay. It's the drinking. That's what it is. It's the drinking. I thought it was like, I thought he was okay. Like I didn't. That you
He's
all.
telling you he's not. He's telling you, Sarah, I can't breathe. He's saying your name and you're like, that's my name, don't wear it out.
The seemingly innocent question asked by the officers earlier about being drunk, which she denied, had come back to haunt her as she attempted to attribute her actions to alcohol. With the evidence, recordings, and confessions in the officers' possession, their subsequent move was hardly surprising.
Do me a favor, stand up. I need you to turn around, face the wall, put your hands behind your back. Do you have anything in your pockets that I should know about?
No.
Okay.
Why is this happening?
Because George is dead.
not intentionally.
We understand that.
He's still dead.
Sarah Boone was charged with second-degree murder, and as of the time of this video production, her trial is still ongoing. The next case leads us to Wisconsin, where one of the most gruesome homicide cases since the case of Jeffrey Dahmer occurred. This was the moment Wisconsin police officers made the shocking discovery of 24-year-old Shad Tyrons in a bucket under the stairs. The events leading up to this horrific scene would leave you in disbelief. On February 23rd, 2023, Shad Tyrons' mother, Tara Pakanish, was devastated when she made a horrifying discovery, finding her son's head in a green bucket, which made her quickly alert the police. Upon arriving at the scene, the officers were confronted with the sight of a head and also discovered the scattered in the basement. Before long, the police connected the dots and determined Shad Tyron was last seen with his girlfriend, 25-year-old Taylor Shabizanis, before his murder. Armed with this information, police obtained an arrest warrant and proceeded to her residence, where they uncovered even more shocking details.
Hey. Is this blood? Does this look like blood to you? Or am I just tripping? Bloody footprint? You see this right here? Could possibly be blood. Hi, Taylor. How's it going? Officer Russell with the Green Bay Police Department. Just make sure you ain't got nothing on you here. Good Taylor. Taylor, you have one more for your wrist. Just put that together back quick. Anybody else in your apartment? You got blood on your hands here. No, on your hands. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to. What apartment?
Traces of bloody footprints were discovered leading from her car to her apartment, along with bloodstains on her body and clothing and knife cuts on her hands. Without hesitation, the officers transported her to the precinct for interrogation, where one of the most intense and insane interrogations ever to occur unfolded.
I don't want him to die, actually. He's my buddy, but like it happened. I just didn't stop. I don't know why. I didn't stop. I felt bad because I'm like, damn, he's gonna be losing after this.
But when did you start, cutting up his pot?
Like almost right away. I was sucking and cutting at the same time.
You two being intimate, having sex?
It was getting there.
Just getting. So will this be considered foreplay?
Yeah, it was. And then, I don't know. And then, I just didn't stop. I don't know why. I didn't stop.
You guys done something like this in the past? Do you use manual strangulation during sex at all?
During the interrogation, she maintained a remorseless demeanor, displaying no signs of regret for her actions. She claimed that the entire incident began as a sexual encounter, both her and her now deceased boyfriend under the influence of illegal substances.
But then he didn't understand it, so I'm like, put it on his neck. I already know I'm gonna choke him, and I did. He likes it. I was gonna walk him like a dog.
And he wanted that?
I have no idea what I was gonna do it anyway. There was a ring, and there's two rings, and then like you pull the chain from under the ring, and then pull it back.
Alright, so then a loop at the end of the chain that could go around, kind of like a dog choke collar.
Yeah, exactly.
What were you doing while they were around the
I was strangling.
necks? Who's strangling?
The officer pressed for answers, encountering no resistance from her as she maintained a smile, lacking of emotion, while confessing to the victim with the dog chain.
So when did you realize that Shad was not alive anymore?
You know, his face turned purple. He was coughing up blood, and his face turned purple.
He's kissing himself. His face was all purple.
I still didn't stop him.
The interrogation didn't end here, as she proceeded to describe her actions following the victim's death.
You said that she played with his penis after he was cracked?
It was half.
Did you,
Even.
what did you do with this penis?
I put it all.
Did you ever place it in your vagina or any of your body parts?
No, I just.
You didn't use it as a dildo or anything? Okay. But when did you start, cutting up his body?
Like almost right when I was fucking and cutting and I grinded on him, I put the dick in his ass.
You grinded on?
Yeah.
Did you ever put his penis in your vagina? Or you just grind on him?
Did you see before that you performed a roll on him?
Yeah.
Okay, that was after he was dead.
Yeah. And then he got half hard while I was still sucking while he was dead. Yeah.
Okay.
She wasn't holding back in her confessions, making the prosecution of this case a walk in the park for the district attorney's office.
I pulled him, and then his head was hanging off.
So you probably laid face out. So
Yeah.
his back was on the
The
bed.
back was on
His
the bed.
head's partially off the bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the tub was like right there.
Like the pail that you had the
Yeah.
head in before. Okay. So basically his head's here and the bucket's right here.
Yeah, and then from there, I guess it is.
You cut his head off.
Yeah.
How did you dismember his body?
Nice.
With what?
Nice.
Knives? More than one knife? Where'd you get those from?
Kitchen. So I find mine and I wasn't sharp enough.
You weren't sharp?
No. It was alright. Bread knife works good.
Bread knife?
A bread knife works good.
Really?
I had to use what I needed, so like, yeah. I got lazy last night.
That was the height of it all. She resorted to using a blunt bread knife to carry out her inhumane act. At this point, the officers heard more than enough and proceeded to bring the case to court. During the court proceedings, she had to be chained and even restrained due to her unstable demeanor. Yet even that didn't prevent her from expressing her dissatisfaction to her lawyer. After a lengthy 3-day trial, the jurors unanimously found her guilty, leading the judge to sentence her to life imprisonment. If you enjoy true crime content like this, please like, subscribe, and watch this one.